What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This week we are back on our twin turbo Continental. The last time you guys saw this thing, we had just mocked up the turbos, but in fact we didn't even have a motor in it yet. Now we have our motor put in and a whole bunch of new shiny parts. So let's get you guys caught up to all the work we've done so far. Also, we have a special guest coming into the shop for this episode, so make sure you stick around. So we just got our Wegener automotive front drive kit in the mail yesterday. We're gonna be unboxing that here shortly. We're gonna be getting that onto our motor, getting our motor back in place so we can start fabbing our turbo system. All right, we got our complete accessory drive, all our brackets, pulleys, even the belt, everything is all laid out, all the hardware. So we're ready to start putting this accessory drive onto the LS block, motor built for boost. So we went for just the natural, raw material, because all this stuff's gonna end up getting powder coated. Our condenser, our alternator, all the pulleys, everything, even our water pump. So for now, we're gonna go ahead and get this onto the motor so we know where all this is gonna live, and we know what kind of piping and everything to stay away from. It also will help us figure out our radiator size. So we'll get this on, and then we're gonna go again and throw this motor back into the car. Motor's back in. As you see, now that we have our accessory drive on, our turbo placement is not really gonna work out. Our AC compressor is pretty much, about 3.5 inches away from our intake side of our turbo. So that's gonna make our piping have to jog around it. So we could possibly go ahead and slide this back a little bit, give us a little bit more room in between here and here to make our piping kind of work out. But that's why it's real important that you have everything, in place before you start your custom fabrication. Because had we not had this already sitting here, my idea was to come out at a 45 and back in, but that's not gonna work out anymore. So once we get our last piece of the puzzle, which is our air-to-water intercooler manifold, we'll get that in, and then we'll really start planning our turbos and get these things set exactly where we want them. Now we got our engine dressed up. We got our Wegener front accessory drive on. We got our Nick Williams throttle body installed to our TIC Performance air-to-water intercooler. We obviously got our turbos mocked up. I think we're gonna have to reposition these turbos a little bit. We're super close to our compressor here for our AC unit. So we're gonna be coming off this with a 4-inch titanium. So we're gonna be going from 4, adapting to 2-inch inlet sides that are gonna be kind of like pie cut into our 4-inch pipe. So that's probably gonna be our next step. Then we're gonna probably move these things back a little bit so we have a little bit more room to come around our AC compressor on this side. This side, I think we could probably make it work. We might have to come up and kind of maybe come back down, or possibly we could make this adapter piece so our 2-inch side is kind of angled up a little bit. But as you see, we're getting there, man. Kind of got everything we need in place so we could start our turbo system now. All right, I know you guys have been in suspense, and it's finally time to reveal our special guest. We got Timmy back in the building. You guys have all been asking where this young man's been for the last 3 years. Well, he's back. He's only back for a little while to help us with our turbo system. So Timmy, what do you got going on here?
Well, what do you have going on, Mike? Because I guess you have a bunch of Stainless Brothers products. You're gonna go under the hood of that Lincoln Continental. So I guess we're gonna do the full twin turbo system, some intercooler piping, and some downpipes, and we're gonna try to make it pretty spicy. So when you get cutting and welding.
Well, I have no doubt Timmy's gonna make it spicy. He did an amazing turbo system on Cha-Ching. He also did our Chevelle. So my man, I call him Timmy Turbo, and that's for a reason. Timmy, get to cutting and get to welding, would you?
Let's go, man.
All right.
I went ahead and mounted our collectors and made the tail end of the exhaust, as well as had to put it in the downpipes. Downpipes have to go in first in order to route our primaries for the actual headers. So in order to have the clearance where we wanted it, to be able to run the downpipe below the header is ideal to be able to have clearance for the wheels. So all this has to be put in place before you start building your headers. So we went ahead and get the passenger side done first. As you can see, the first primary is done, and we're about to make our way into the second, third, and fourth to be able to swoop it around like a Nelson style header and then run the downpipe below the header so that we can have a wastegate proximity here, as well as really clean engine bay. So you pop this thing, it really has a wow factor. So we're gonna start running the primaries over on this side and then try to mimic it the best that we can on the driver's side as well. This partial fixture is going to allow me to be able to keep this in plane in position so that we can build the rest of the primaries out. So I'm just going to put a quick locator on this guy right here, run some material down to fix it to the actual I-beam, and start completing all of our other primaries. So if you can picture the valve covers right here, we're going to run this one, this one, this one, and nest them all into here, into the collector. Then once that's all done, then we'll break it all apart and final weld everything and put it back in the car and repeat the process on the other side. We got our header to take a break on these things for a second because we need more bends for the back two primaries. So for right now, we're going to start working on our cold side, and what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and use these Vibrant HD clamps for everything, and we're going to use titanium also for the charge piping. So I'm going to have to weld 4-inch HD on the throttle body, and then we're going to weld HD clamps on top of our turbos, probably point these down, and then we're going to just do a cold side piping straight in to have all this nice titanium right in the front right there. So I'm going to pull these off quick and weld these up first, and then we'll start running our titanium into our big throttle body. All right, so we got our intake snout pretty much made. It's this 2-to-1 collector guy. So what we're gonna do now is pull the header back out since we got some more material in. We're gonna finish these headers out first, and then we'll finish our cold side.
All right, well, I haven't been really bothering Tim because he's so awesome at what he does, but I think it's time we check on him. What do y'all think? Well, Tim, what do you got going on over here, buddy?
Well, we're just finishing up our downpipes. We got all our pie cuts done. We got all our stainless brothers welded up.
Now you guys know why I don't bother Timmy. Look at them welds, man.
Yeah, hood
That
down.
is pretty, bro.
We got the hood down all day.
Show us what you got going on over here, brother.
So we finished up the cold side of the charge piping. We got our Turbo Smart blow-off valves on there, similar to what we did on Cha-Ching. All the Vibrant HD clamps are welded up on the throttle body as well as the turbos. So we still have to finish up the headers. We got some primary material we're waiting on, and put our wastegates in, and then final install our downpipes, and then we got to do our turbo braces, and I think I'm gonna walk away from it.
Yeah, so I did order the wrong stuff from Stainless Brothers twice, actually. He needed some tight radius 90s, and I got regular 90s. So unfortunately, we're going to be cutting the episode off here. He is doing an amazing job, and that's why we got him over here. This thing is looking really sick. Couldn't be happier with it. We got a whole bunch of other metal work going on the car while he's doing that. Brady's been working on our rockers, welding the whole rear together, just getting all of our panels set. This thing is really coming together. I'm stoked. Anyway, so next week, Timmy's gonna be finishing up this turbo setup. We're gonna give him a hug goodbye. Maybe we'll get him back out here again to finish up some more stuff. But until then, man, make sure you guys like, subscribe so you don't miss out on the rest of this build. Thanks for watching. Peace.